Good evening, Commonwealth, and thanks for watching the Channel 2 News. I'm Chris Nelson. Let's take a look at tonight's top stories. Thousands of workers face unemployment as September 30th approaches. Also tonight, Outer Cove Marina is falling apart. Boat owners wonder where they can go. And something that's been on the table for years will be served up soon. In sports, hang on, the CNMI squeaks by Beijing twice in one night. Stay with us. These stories and more next.
"48 hours. That's all we get in a week. But those 48 hours, we try to make them last forever. How? By filling in fast with all the right stuff. With a lot of laughter, a little drama, some adventure, and a whole lot of love."
Dad, Mom's here.
It happens pretty quick,
Bye, Dad.
but it's cool. Because the rest of the week, we talk about our plans
You want to go to the beach?
on how to make the next 48 hours last us a lifetime.
Green sea turtles and hawksbill turtles call the Mariana Islands home. They're an important part of the marine ecosystem. They are under threat, and they are protected under CNMI law. Keep plastic out of the ocean. Keep vehicles off the beach. Use the Sea Turtle Stranding Hotline if you see poaching activities or if you see a turtle in trouble. Call 287-8537 and save a turtle. Havaday Tirwami and good evening, Commonwealth. Today is Monday, August 26, 2019. With 36 days to go, less than 15% of CNMI non-resident worker applications have been issued a temporary labor certificate. This puts thousands of workers at risk of having to depart when their contracts expire on September 30th. The U.S. Labor Department says they have issued temporary labor certifications for just over 1,800 workers. Labor says they received applications for over 13,000 workers, and there are 12,500 permits available for the coming year. This certificate is a new process this year, which is required before employers can apply for CW1 permits. And now with 5 weeks to go, it appears many companies are in danger of losing workers because of the time it takes for the process.
You've got, a fitness supermarket on this list. You got Aqua Resort Club, you have Artman, you have Kanoa Resort, you have Atkins Crow, the Commonwealth Healthcare Corporation. You got Construction Material Supply, Coral Ocean Resort, you got a bakery, Dan Dan Bakery's on here, DFS is on here, Fiesta Resort. These are the names that are on here, and these are the employers that will have to make decisions, that will affect all of us. That's where we buy our goods. That's where we buy our vehicles. That's where we get services and the like. And especially if you got to go to the hospital, you definitely don't want to hear, hey, We just had to let our healthcare professionals go because we just couldn't get them renewed on 9/30/2019.
Kalili's office says that the application process was opened on April the 4th, but the Northern Marianas Business Alliance Corporation immediately told local employers not to apply and to wait for the CNMI government to complete a wage survey, and this was not done until July. U.S. Labor is now taking an average of 41 days to process these labor certifications, and once the TLC is issued, the position then needs to be advertised for 21 days. Representative Kalili said, quote, "Clearly the business community would be in a better position had the Commonwealth government begun work on a prevailing wage survey as soon as the law was enacted in July of 2018, rather than waiting until now," end quote.
Mistakes have been made, or delays have been affected. The realization of this process is now in place, and the results are, thousands of workers are not going to be renewed by 9/30.
Local businesses say the 41-day processing time cited by the Department of Labor is a bit misleading. The actual processing time is realistically 85 to 90 days, and that's assuming there are no deficiencies. Local Labor Secretary Vicky Benavente is scheduled to interview on this topic on Wednesday. 3 defendants who pled not guilty to conspiracy to possess ice have their jury trial set in federal court. Vince Coqui, Leon Guerrero, Evelyn Chon Tidinko, and Elaine Francisco de May were indicted with 1 count of conspiracy to possess over 50 grams of methamphetamine with the intent to distribute. Jury trial has been set for October 15th, 2019 at 10 a.m. All 3 defendants had their conditions of release, which states that they shall not come in contact with each other during release. Boat owners at Outer Cove Marina will need a new place to park their boats. Bob Coldine reports.
Those scuba tanks are for tourists loading up at Outer Cove Marina at Smiling Cove this morning. That's coming to an end here. Secretary of Public Lands Tony Benavente announces the closing of Outer Cove Marina, citing safety concerns and a need for rehabilitation. You can see the broken bridge there. Helly is one of the workers who doesn't know where their tourist business will go.
This bridge is not enough the brace, so I don't think this bridge good. They have to destroy everything and rebuild a new one.
And how is it affecting your, the tourists coming in? When you guys bring in tourists?
Very sad because there's no place we can park our big boat now. So we hope the government will help us to talk to inside the marina so we can go inside and park our boat. Because I think that's, I don't know what's the story about inside. They cannot let us go inside.
Outer Cove has been operated by the local government, while Inner Cove Marina is a federally funded facility. A meeting is set for the 29th of this month to discuss relocation arrangements.
Project has kicked off that will give every house on the island a number, something we've never had before. Our KSPN's Ashley McDowell has the details.
It's the street naming and home numbering system.
It is kicked off and it's ongoing. Mr. Pangilinan just gave us a presentation about last month, and we're trying to set up another presentation with him on where we're at now as far as the home numbering system. It's looking pretty good, and I'm really excited to see that thing finish.
Currently, no houses or businesses are identified by numbers due to the P.O. Box, but soon every building on the island of Saipan will have a number. The contract for the project has been awarded to Henry Pangilinan and Associates LLC, where they have began surveying around the island. They will visit every house to map all the locations of property and buildings, and even figure out the number of residents in each household.
Before we started the project, we asked our people to please cooperate with those people that are coming around, because we want this project to be finished. It's for our benefit for the whole island here.
The project costs around $64,000 and will be completed in phases.
Name master map, and then the next phase would be delivering it up to the legislature or the local delegation for adoption, and that becomes part of a public law that makes the master maps the law. And then the next step would be notifying property owners of their number, designated numbers, and requiring them to just use one design or style of numbering and where to put it on their building. And that's it. And just updating the database constantly.
Mayor Apateng says the project has been in the works for quite some time, but is expected to be completed by next year, which opens up opportunity for emergency services and postal.
It's for benefit for the whole island here. And when you order from Amazon, they will not send it to you if you don't have a home address. They will not send it to P.O. Box. So it's beneficial for us. So we're just asking our people to cooperate with Mr. Pangilinan and his people when they come out and do some survey.
Reporting for KSPN, I'm Ashley McDowell.
Coming up, deserving veterans need extra attention when it comes to health needs. That story and more follow the break.
Get the phone plan you're looking for at IT&E. Stay connected with the strongest, widest, and most reliable network in the Marianas. Stream, share, play, shop, and surf the web with super fast 4G LTE data. Whether you need just a few gigabytes of data to get by, or if you want to go further with unlimited data, there's a plan for you. You'll always get the best price. Visit any IT&E store or call us to learn more. IT&E. Explore your world.
All workers have the right to a safe workplace. Employers must provide a workplace that is free from recognized hazards and comply with applicable OSHA standards, including proper reporting of injuries. Training needs to be done in a language and vocabulary employees can understand, and an OSHA information poster must be displayed prominently in the workplace. Workers, you have the right to raise a safety or health concern with your employer or OSHA without being retaliated against, and request an OSHA consultation of your workplace if you believe there are unsafe or unhealthy conditions. OSHA can help. Free assistance to identify and correct hazards is available to small and medium-sized employers without citation or penalty. So look out, speak up, and stay safe. Job safety and health, it's not only good practice, it's the law. Check out OSHA.gov or call 664-3154 or 3155.
Welcome back. You're watching the Monday night edition of the Channel 2 News. KSPN's Ashley McDowell speaks with CNMI Veterans Affairs Executive Director Stanley Jacopo for details on how the VA's office helps the medical needs of veterans.
The Saipan Veterans Affairs Office is seeking to provide the CNMI veterans with more options when it comes to medical treatment, one being transportation.
Because a lot of our veterans do not have transportation. They're struggling to get transportation. Also gas, So economically, it's taking a hard hit on a lot of the veterans as well. And then that deals with medicines.
CNMI Veterans Affairs Executive Director Stanley Jacopo was in Hawaii recently to discuss the medical transportation for veterans.
While I was there, I have the opportunity to meet with the Air Mobility Command commander, Greg Harmon, and his deputy and his others. And this was to discuss, explore opportunities for a AMC flight, military aircraft, that can see if they can fly from Guam, go to Rota, pick up veterans there, Tinian and Saipan, and then take them to their medical appointments, either on Guam or to Hawaii. So these are the topics that we discuss. I was just exploring,
Jacopo states that currently, veterans with 100% permanent disability can travel for free under the space available travel within the United States.
But you have to be 100% rated service-connected disability in order for you to avail of these services. So it doesn't mean that, and this means that you don't have to do it just for your medical appointments. It just means it's now available to you that you can travel that you can travel anywhere in Puerto Rico, American Samoa, you can travel to the States. So that benefit is now available to the veterans.
Another benefit for veterans medical treatment the VA's office is looking at establishing is a community-based outpatient clinic.
But we want to make sure that, because what's going on and what's been going on is that you're a veteran, you come up to my office, you fill out the forms, we send it for benefits, right, and compensations. And then we advise you, go down to VA Health and register again through health, which is what they do, what they need to do. So we're trying to make that a one-stop shop. So
Jacopo says healthcare remains a priority and transportation is a key step.
One medical provider that's under the VA. But I want to make sure that I want the veterans to know that they can still go to another hospital, or CHCC hospital, or also another private medical clinic. And with the CBOG, that is strictly for the veterans.
Reporting for KSPN, I'm Ashley McDowell.
While the NMI government is practicing austerity, the government of Guam is looking at close to $1 billion budget. And Guam and NMI come together in a legal way. KUAM's Adriana Catero reports.
Half a day CNMI, here's what's making news on Guam. You might call it the $1 billion budget talks. Discussion on the fiscal year 2020 spending plan is now in full swing, with revenue projections dominating the early debate.
Senators, members of the governor's fiscal team, and finance and budget officials were hunkered down at the session hall to pore over the new spending plan. Budget Director Lester Carlson says when projecting how much money will be available to spend, the administration and the legislature aren't far apart.
For the most part, we are 98% in support of the revenues contained in Bill 186.
Appropriations Committee Chairman Senator Joe San Augustine says they want to be careful not to over-project on the budget, which foresees about $954 million available for appropriations.
And right now, on this bill, we try to maintain being conservative and not project at all, because exactly like what Senator Lee brought up, if a special fund doesn't perform, the general fund is what's funding the special funds. So we got to make sure that we don't try to project every penny we've got, and then if something happens, we're all going to be sitting here saying, how did we do this?
Senators are also keying on some $14 million in extra money that might be available, as Budget Director Carlson confirms that current tracking of general fund revenue shows the executive branch may have that much left over at the end of the fiscal year.
I will note, though, that about a month or two ago, we were at about $23 million in tracking. That number went down to about 20. Now it's down to 14.
Senators are proceeding with a section-by-section review of the bill. They have until August 31st to adopt next fiscal year's budget.
Guam and the CNMI have selected the same PFAS litigation team, and despite having separate complaints, both Office of the Attorneys General say that being assisted by the same counsel builds strength. CNMI Attorney General Edward Manabusan tells KUAM that they anticipate to formalize their claims and file the case in the coming weeks. Manabusan and Attorney General Levan Taitano Camacho met to discuss the PFAS contamination effects on the entire Marianas.
They've done tests and they found PFAS in Saipan. So when we got authorization to go out and to obtain legal experts, we reached out to Attorney General Manabusan, and we were wondering if they would be interested in kind of engaging in the interview process with us. So they had their own team, and they were able to interview some of the firm teams that had sent proposals over, and they had their own process, but we ended up, I believe, retaining the same litigation team for both the NMI and Guam.
Camacho adds that when it comes to filing these suits, there will very likely be a one Marianas approach. And you believe that'll be a stronger approach then?
You know, anytime the territories, we're always overlooked. Anytime we can kind of stick together, we're going to be stronger. So we will be handling things different. They have a different contract. They'll be filing a different complaint. But we're definitely going to be working with them and coordinating our efforts to address the problem as a region.
As we reported, the case has been transferred to a multi-district litigation court in South Carolina, and a status conference is scheduled for September 6, 2019. Stay connected via our KUAM mobile news app, follow us on any of the social media platforms, and sign up for our weekly email newsletter, KUAM Digital Digest, on KUAM.com. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Adriana Cotero.
Thank you, Adriana. Coming up in the KSPN2 Sports Report, NMI Soccer learns how to hold on. We're going to kick it up next.
Faster, easier to use. With live TV, recordings, video on demand, and streaming apps all in a single place. When you're looking for something new, recommendations are tailored to you. Voice-powered, personalized results to find what you want faster. And the unlimited potential of smart home. The new experience from TiVo is here.
Good evening and welcome to Channel 2 Health Talk. I'm Dr. Tony Stearns of Marianas Medical Center. One of the most important things we can do as parents is to teach our children healthy living and healthy habits and to make sure they have a safe and healthy environment to grow up in. This process should really begin before and during pregnancy, but let's focus tonight on what begins the day you take your child home from the hospital, ideally riding in an approved and properly installed car seat. Here are some simple tips that can make a huge difference in the lifelong health and success of your child. Many child care experts believe that the most important lesson you can teach your child is how to eat healthy. It's the key to lifelong health and longevity, and it's your responsibility as parents to set a healthy example. If you don't eat healthy foods, you can't expect your kids to. Read to your child a lot, ideally for at least 15 minutes a couple of times every day. Daily reading helps develop language and communication skills, and studies show that children who are read to every day do better in school and are more successful in life. Turn off the television and other electronic devices. Experts recommend no television or videos or electronic games before the age of 2 years. That's right, no television or videos before the age of 2. None, including Baby Einstein and similar programs. Kids need to interact face-to-face with other humans to learn important language and other interpersonal skills, and the first 2 years of life are critical for this development. Just turn off the TV and interact with your child. Encourage your child to be physically active and foster lifelong interest in sports and other activities. Make sure your child has a safe environment. Accidents are the leading cause of death and injury for infants, children, and teenagers. Also, always make sure your child is appropriately restrained in your car. Finally, make sure your child gets plenty of rest. By following these simple tips, you can help ensure that your child grows and develops into a healthy adult with lifelong skills and habits that are the best way to remain healthy and prevent disease, to be successful, and to live a long life. Thank you for joining me. I'm Dr. Tony Stearns of Marianas Medical Center. Please join me again next week and have a healthy week.
Buenas sports fans. Buenas sports fans, the saying is, you play to win the game. True, but there are times when you play not to lose, where holding on is more important than trying to score. And we saw that Saturday night. Consider it a lesson learned for Northern Marianas soccer. When it comes to international soccer, the Northern Marianas usually is behind and trying to catch up at the end. They're not used to playing with a lead. Case in point, last year in the Marianas Cup, the NMI boys U17 soccer team led Guam 4-3 in the final seconds, but not everyone got back on defense to help. Guam tied the game. It went to a shootout, and Guam won. Last month, Coach Mita warned that his team needed to learn a valuable lesson in how to win.
It's important to play throughout 90 minutes, not only 10 minutes, 15 minutes, yes. So we have so many chances, yes, but we couldn't use the opportunities. Yeah. So how we play consistency full 90 minutes. So we kept working on this after Mariana's Cup.
Saturday at the Cobreville Training Center, 2 NMI teams competing against 2 club teams from Beijing. The NMI U18 squad had a 4-3 lead over Elite Corps FC thanks to goals by Takabora, John Michael Rojas, Joshua De Leon, and Oliver Fajardo. Final minutes. Did the boys learn their lesson? Oh, it's a foul. And the NMI deflects wide right. That leads to a corner kick. Yuan Yang Yu, another chance. NMI packs the box and clears. Beijing reboots, and this time sends the ball across the parking lot toward China. Wow. 3 yellow cards on the NMI team were called, but no red. Free kick, and the NMI packs the box again, successfully defending. Here's another threat. The goalie, John Bacayo, comes out. The ball goes into the top of the goal. Corner kick goes to the front of the net, and oh, there's the NMI defending it again. Beijing another shot, and that ball goes out toward Naftan Point. Beijing's team photographers were getting good action shots. Beijing. That shot, NMI, Taipei, Austria, deflects it into the side of the net. That leads to another corner. Kotaro Goto heads the ball out to safety, and that gives the NMI a breakaway opportunity. Rojas, though, can't catch up to the pass. Hey, got a little testy here, Oliver Fajardo. That's a yellow card. Bodies flying. This game meant something to both of these teams. There's another foul on the NMI. Free kick, and it's caught by Bacayo. Final seconds. Beijing gets off one last shot. It's too high. NMI hangs on to win 4-3 in a heart-stopper of a game. What's the score?
The second winning by 1 point.
Would you believe the same thing happened in the very next game? The men's national team needed to hang on against Beijing 97 United FC. NMI up 3-1. Martin Jabor, a couple of goals. Daniel Guto, 1 for the homeboys. John Canopy and Joe Miller get into it. Remember Joe Miller, longtime NMI player. Goalie Chris Aninzo comes in to cool John down as the yellow card goes up. All right, from just outside the box, 97 loads up off the wall and off the crossbar into the net. Oh, it's a 1-goal game. Can the CNMI survive? Well, you know, Chris spent last year in England training the college soccer. Look at this throw downfield from one end of the field to the other. This is what people came hoping to see, a good contest, and what they saw was a very young NMI team that played very physical, sometimes too physical. That foul leads to this kick, but the defense is there to stop it cold. NMI speed on display here. Ball gets into the corner, the cross, it's bumbled, out of bounds. Well, the play works here, but the shot is too soft. Need more mustard on that hot dog. '97 United for the tie. Too high. NMI survives 3-2.
Here's the windup and the pitch.
I don't believe what I just saw.
Let's roll at Gold's Gym Saipan with group exercise for every body. Total Resistant Exercise, or TRX, helps develop your core and improve strength. And Zumba toning is probably the funnest way to get fit. The Shake Cafe is a great place to stop by for a meal replacement or supplements. Today is the first day of the rest of your life.
Today's high temperature was 88, the low 82, and that ties the highest low that we've had in 2019. The heat index 100, humidity 70%. Tomorrow, partly sunny, isolated showers, southeast winds 5 to 10 miles an hour, high 89, low 77. Seas calm out there, 3 to 4 feet. Sunrise 4 past 6, low tide 1 past 11 in the morning, followed by a high tide at 6:14, and then sunset at 6:33. That is news, weather, and sports on this Monday. We'll see you back here on Tuesday. Thank you for watching. Good night.